the Bears could have the best wide receiver room in the NFL.
That's a shot, 100% shot. DJ Moore is a star. Keenan Allen's what, Hoodie? A 6-time Pro Bowler?
Mm-hmm.
And Rome Odunze, whether he's better than them both combined, whether he's third, that is the best wide receiver room in the National Football League currently, because Brandon Ayuk's not practicing. Deebo Samuel's a really good football player, but 3 alpha guys like the Bears have, best.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I believe that is a shot as well. And the reason why, Cap, is we can look at individuals like Justin Jefferson. He's the tippy top of the wide receivers in the NFL, but his room is not as deep. We can say the same thing with Tyreek Hill. We like what the Miami Dolphins are. I mean, with Waddle, Tyreek Hill, we know that Hill can be unstoppable as a wide receiver. But again, is the room as deep? The Dallas Cowboys with CD Lamb. Who doesn't like a CD Lamb, or who doesn't like Jamar Chase with Cincinnati? But again, it's about the quality and the depth. So that's why the Bears could be the best wide receiver core, because individual accomplishments are one thing with some of these guys I mentioned, but with the Bears and their depth chart, you have 3 guys that can make a difference, I believe.
It's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
And your guy, Tyler Scott, who you like, got top-end speed, just got to take the next step. Let's go.
Did you hear Tommy's thoughts, though, Shay, Cap, about Tyler Scott? I mean, now, so you trust the eyes of Tommy because he played the position at a high level.
Yes.
But he talked about the kind of route running, or just the approach that he takes to be able to catch a football, how it has to improve. I thought that was very key in our Waddle Wednesday show a couple of days ago, yesterday.
Because Tyler Scott has top-end breakaway speed. Tommy never was blessed with that. So he had to be a technician in how he ran his routes. And I remembered him telling me that his father, I think they called him the General, Robert E. Lee Waddle. That's his name. He said the General told him, Tom, you're going to get hit. So you may as well catch the football on top of it. And that's how he became so good, because I said to him, what do you catch the ball with? And he said, you catch the ball with your eyes, not your hands, not your chest. You look it into your hands with your eyes. And that dude did not drop passes.
Shay, watch Tyler Scott if you get a chance tonight and his route running, and especially if it's a deep ball, where he looks like he's chasing a paper airplane instead of the football, where it's just like, especially if it's over his head and he's just trying to, it's the way he approaches trying to catch the football. I noticed that in the last game too. But Tommy makes a good point. For someone who's learned at the position, who played it, he wants Tyler Scott to be better with his route running and catching ability. That top-end speed, everyone is not blessed with that. Hopefully Tyler could be an impact player for the Bears at some point this year.
Yeah, I think the good news for him is most of his routes are going to be straight lines. Just sit in the slot and run a seam.
Let's go.
That works on college football 25.
Well, if they're in cover 3, Hoodie, you know what to do.
4 verts.
Brad Biggs wrote up that the Bears are looking for help at the defensive tackle position after whiffing on the Matt Judon trade effort. The Bears are now looking for answers behind Jervon Dexter and Andrew Billings, and are combing the waiver wire potentially for them. Shot or no shot? You hear this? That's going to be the end for Dominique Robinson.
I'm not so sure about that. Dominique Robinson's put on weight in a good way. He looks really, really good. But if they're looking for D tackle help, that's what you said, right?
Yeah, they're looking for somebody more inside. But it does feel like Dominique Robinson has put on weight. It kind of feels like that would be an option that they could move inside if they wanted to, if they needed something, like Zach Pickens battling an injury right now. The depth there is so concerning. It feels like they have some internal options. I would think Dominique Robinson would be a part of that, break glass in an emergency. The fact that they're going to go look for junkyard pieces tells me they're not that satisfied with any option they have in their building.
Maybe in terms of interior play, and when you look at Dom Robinson, maybe they feel like, really, really talented cat. We like where he's at in year 3, but he's only going to play on the exterior, not the interior of that line.
So Dominic Robinson is an end piece. Is he not? Right on right defensive end. Can he play left defensive end too?
Yeah, he's more of an edge.
Okay, so all right, so I understand what your point is, Shay, because at defensive tackle, you had to find out if Javon Dexter's a guy. I would say it's a shot that they'll be looking at other pieces, that's for sure. But Dominic Robinson, at this point in time, Cap, in front of me, is DeMarcus Walker, Austin Booker, then Dominic Robinson's third on this depth chart.
Okay, so DeMarcus Walker is a guy that can be a little interchangeable, right?
Yes.
So because when they had Ngakoue and Sweat, he would kick inside some or be a backup at one of the two edge positions. So read me the depth chart again.
Walker is, well, we know he's going to start. It's Walker, followed by Austin Booker, and then Dominic Robinson at right defensive end. That's how
Austin Booker's flashed, man.
Yeah.
I mean, give Shea his flowers. That kid from the University of Minnesota, because he's not allowed to say that he also played at Kansas. That kid has looked really good in camp and in preseason. It's really good.
It's a shot that they'll be looking at other pieces, Shay. I don't think it's a shot that Robinson would be cut. I think they still like the kid as a rotation piece.
Going to be tough to get snaps. Go for legend. Austin Booker standing in his way.
Now, Noah Sewell, that's a different story. That'll be all.
Oh, boy.
He's no Panay.
Well, that's for sure.
It's like that. I think that'll be all. But what we have to look at, Cap, is a Greg Stroman or a Steve Baskerville going to be around?
That'd be Micah, Steve's cousin.
Mm-hmm. The weatherman.
The weatherman's kid.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually Aaron Baskerville because he was a basketball star. But Micah, you got Sewell's been banged up. Like, it's going to be hard to make this roster, man. And that's why you're scouring that cut down list, because if you look at the Bears and go, wow, Bears were only a 7-win team at 3 the year before, and it's going to be really hard to make that roster. Does Daniel Hardy make it? What happens to Wheeler, or what happens to Valus? Somebody's going to pick these dudes up if they hit the street.
See, I won't let Hard Knocks fool me. Just because they're featuring these guys doesn't mean they're going to make the football team.
Correct.
I'm just saying,
makes them a bigger story when they get cut.
That's all that is. We're pretty much set, though. I think we kind of know, outside of a few pieces, who's going to make the team, who's not. That'll be all for Carter at left guard, too. Here's Shay Norling.
All right, talked about this a little yesterday. Cap alluded to something I want to get to. The Tigers benched Javy Baez yesterday at Wrigley Field after a golden sombrero on Tuesday night. They instead played 24-year-old shortstop Trey Sweeney. He homered in the game. People are wondering if Javy Baez's time in Detroit is over, whether it's in season now with the final month coming up, or at the end of the year, they buy him out, figure out a way out of the deal. If Javi's time in Detroit is over and he becomes a free agent and you can get him on the cheap, shot or no shot, the Cubs should bring him back on a cheap flyer.
Shot. He had great success here.
It's embarrassing. Absurd.
So no one should give him a second chance.
Just someplace else, Cap. That's all.
He's literally not a Major League Baseball player.
Maybe that's your team's fault, not his.
Oh,
or a combination of both.
Well, it's his
fault. Because all I know is he was second for MVP here.
Well, you understand, though, Cap. I mean, the second time around is always the toughest. I just think that you heard the ovation from the fans for Javy Baez when he played a couple of days ago. That's the memory that Cub fans should have. Not the 32-year-old guy that is swinging out of his ass every time he comes to the plate. Let the good times be there for Baez. The cool slide, the swag that he brought to the Chicago Cubs. That's what you should remember. Don't bring him back here for this nonsense. Let's not do that. He's better than that.
So you would not pick him up on a flyer for the league minimum because Shay's club's paying all the money.
Yeah, I think that the Cubs are better than that. I think they are. Don't do it for nostalgia, for sloppy seconds of Baez. The Cubs are better than that.
Why can't I take him and let go of Wisdom, who's terrible?
He was a key pinch hitter.
Javy,
yesterday.
Javy is terrible.
The key pitch hitter.
But Shay, Javy had success here. We're not talking about he hit 240. He was second for MVP. He's still elite defensively.
He's not elite defensively anymore by the metrics. And Cap, that was 7 years ago. He was second for 7 years. It's been.
I'm
since he was
asking him to be
good.
like just a piece, not a starter. I'm asking him just to be a bench guy.
I know you
Got
had
John Maley here as the hitting coach, assistant hitting coach. Maybe he can unlock him again.
Cap. Just let it go.
If I had to wake up in Detroit every day, I probably wouldn't be good at my job either.
Mark Giangreco joining us on Cap and J.
I didn't go quite to that level.
Well, I mean, pretty close. I mean, there's no reason for that shot. There's no reason for that.
There is no benefit to bringing Javy in other than the fans get to go down memory lane. And then 3 months later, they'll all hate him because he'll do the same thing he always does.
That's why let the good memories be there, Cap. You don't need that. You don't need that. By the way, if I had my druthers, if I had a choice with the young Bush or Wisdom in that spot, I would give Bush the opportunity for the at-bat.
Same here.
I would have.
Same here.
Yeah. I understand that there's numbers, and wasn't that privy to watching the game, but the idea you bring in Patrick Wisdom was a 2-1 pitch fly out to left field, something like that.
He's got 6 homers this year. What are we doing here?
I didn't like
Hitting
that.
$190 something. Come on. Nice guy. Good family man. That'll be all.
Yeah, so that's a no shot for me, Shay. That's it. Like, he can go someplace else, but I think that Baez, people still love Javy for what he brought to the championship team. That's how it should stay right there. And that tribute video was awesome for Baez. It didn't inspire me at all against the Cubs, but still, he took a beat, took his helmet off. He waved to the crowd the other day. I just thought that was awesome.
Remember that day he took John Lackey of the then Cardinals deep into the right center field bleachers in the NLDS. 3-run jack. Will advance. Thank you. See you later, St. Louis. Take that.
Yeah. So that's why that's a great memory. Those memories are done if he comes back in the Cubs uniform. That's all. All right, coming up around the NFL, and don't forget deal breaker. What are you mad at?
Get on board with Javy back as a Cub.
No,
and the best thing would be if all of a sudden he recaptured some of the glory, Norling would be beside himself.
It's not even about that. You just want to stick it to Shay, and that's not right.
Pretty much.
Okay, well, I'm being practical as a baseball man, telling you that that's enough. You bring him back here.
Minimum deal. Yeah. Hold on a second.
It's Dave
if
Lato.
Miles Mastrobuoni can play as much as he played, Javy's better than him.
He's not.
He actually is.
He's not. He's not. His OPS is like 504. He's the worst player in the sport. He's not.
Take that. Mastrobuoni better than Baez. How about that?
Yeah, that's not true.
Coming up, deal breakers at 8:35 on Cap and